Well, hello there. So, let me get right out the gate by saying I don't hate the guy at all whatsoever. But you know what? I found it kind of funny that he corrected Arslan Ash's tier list, and I thought it was a good comparison. If he can correct Arslan Ash's tier list, I'm going to correct a big content creator's tier list. And you know what? Let's just see what happens. Maybe he got them all right, maybe he got them all wrong. I haven't actually looked at his tier list or anything like that. I haven't watched the video for his reasons. I'm sure I'll get around to it at some point. But I was kind of curious, how accurate is his tier list when he likes to correct others' tier lists? So I'm going to take a look at it, and we'll see what happens. And we're starting right away with Akuma. I'm trying to avoid looking further down the list. I've literally avoided looking what's ahead. But I already can tell, because I'm not seeing a couple up here, that we're in trouble. But Akuma, I mean, the bracket is top 10. He is top 10. I might not agree that he's top 1. I think Geese is a little bit better than him, but either way, you can agree that he's there. So we're going to do the same thing. He's got that one. We're going to give that one a check mark. We're going to give that one a check mark. Geese Howard, yes, I think he is the best character in the game. Maybe Zafina can weigh in a little bit, but still top 10. Julia, really solid character. Magic 4, good mix-ups, good throw game, all-around fundamentals, a lot of safe moves, party crasher. It's all there. Pretty solid character. Amazing wall carry, good damage on combos with or without walls. Pretty good. Fangwei, need no explanation here. Between Kempo, his safe pokes, his bullshit 50-50, he deserves to be up here, that's for sure. Zafina I kind of touched on. Her movement is a little ridiculous. Her evasion and the way and the long reach she has, I think it's something that's very understated. She has long reach, not just on down forward 2 or down forward 1, but big reaching moves that go halfway across the screen with tons of evasion. Really annoying character, really solid as well. Jin, you could argue that. I think he requires a lot of work to be top 10, and he definitely can qualify here for talking simply about the tier of the character. But I think he just like Akuma, he's very hard to actually make those tools shine. But you could argue he's top 10. Craig Marduk. Now, I don't believe there's necessarily what's called pay to win. I don't think that's true. I think that no matter which character you bought, or anybody could beat you with a character that was not purchased. But if there was, he would be the closest thing to it. This character is, no matter how much you lab or practice, there's nothing that will prepare you to beat his tools. A 3-way mix-up for ridiculous damage is just silly. And if he's one of those characters that you can just never count out. You know, he gets rage one time, and if you dare get launched, oh my god, you better guess correctly. He lacks a little bit in the poking department, but thank god, because if he had that, then we'd be in a lot of trouble. But yes, I agree. Top 10. Brian. Like, if you're an absolute elitist with Brian, he can be like ridiculous between just not just taunt at upper, but just the things he can do with taunt, his counter hit tools. He has, I think, the most counter hit tools in the game. Solid pokes, a lot of interesting gimmicks like his down forward 1-1-1-1-1. He has hatchet. His orbital is still pretty good, even though you can jab him out of it decently reliably. He has a throw game. He has good unblockables. More like round-ending unblockables, because I think he's punishable, even on hit with his fast unblockable. But he has a lot of things to play around with. Top 10, though? I'm actually not sure on that one. I think like at the very, very highest level, when you use his tools to the max, he can be ridiculously busted. So we'll kind of just remain neutral on that one. I'm okay with neutral on that one. It's certainly at the very highest level, but I just don't think most will achieve that. Alyssa absolutely belongs in top 10, and I'm not just a green rank or whatever anyone wants to call me. Alyssa is really good. I think she's a character that's fallen under the radar for quite some time. Her chainsaw stance alone, if you were to take a look at that, you'd understand what it means. But aside from that, incredible range, great counter hits, very good frames. She can poke. She does have a little bit of a throw game as well. She's got a down 4-2 that's pretty solid. The only thing she really lacks is good combos, but her counter hit combos hurt a lot and can substitute. Paul, definitely top 10. Not just because he's Paul, but we all know Paul's basically a perfect character. Throw game, down for 2, great damage, comeback potential, great pokes and mix-ups. Like, he's got it all. There's nothing Paul lacks. You know, he can 50-50 if he wants. He can play the throw game if he wants. He can play however style he wants to play. Defensive, offensive, pressure, you name it, he's got it. He's a top 10. So we're off to a great start. Pretty good start. So now we're gonna look at top 20. And keep in mind, I'm purposely not looking ahead. It's kind of weird. Like, I'm looking at just the top half. I'm not looking at anything ahead because I worry as we get further in here. Leo. I mean, Leo's pretty solid. But there's a lot of solid characters up here. There's a lot of solid characters in this game. It seems a little rich. I mean, like, he has the thing about Leo that I kind of am unsure about being this high is even when he goes into a stance mix-ups into a forward, like back 1-4 or just forward 4 or whatever, it's very much telegraphed, right? It's no surprises. You know when Leo's going for a 50-50. He goes into that stance, everybody can see it. Everybody can see it. And you know there's a bit of a 50-50 coming. It's not like it's a surprise 50-50 or it's very fast. You know what's happening. And that he does have a hell sweep. Again, just like any hell sweep, it's launch on block. His down 4-2 got changed, and I think it's punishable now. He has a command throw, so he can engage in a bit of a throw guessing game. His combos are pretty alright. I don't know, I think this might be a little high for Leo. To say he's top 11 basically, I think that's a little high. He's really good, I just don't think he's that good. I think there are other characters that can shine here. Martial law character has endless potential. The better you get with law, you can unlock a lot with him. And when you can play him with his cancels, with his DSS, really solid character. All around, he has launching throws, he has command throws, he has a great throw game going on. His down 4-2, his pokes, his plus frames, and like his overhand. Really, really good character. I think he belongs here. No introduction needed. Really solid. Steve. Steve's really solid. Steve is really solid. Good counter hit tools, pretty good combos with or without the wall. His comeback potential isn't the greatest. It's kind of hard. You basically have to keep pace when you play Steve. You have to not let the lead get too far out of your grasp because it's really hard to climb back. But just like any character, it's possible. He can play a little bit of a throw game as well. Just a little bit, nothing crazy. But in his stances, he has throws he can utilize. He's good. I don't know if he's this high, but I have no problem in being top 20. I think that's fine. Katarina. Katarina. I mean, Katarina's really solid. Really good combos with great wall travel. Her wall combos that she can do are disgusting, especially if she has rage. She can delete you. Best hop kick in the game. Even puts Claudio to shame. Really, she's solid. Good pokes. Magic 4 is always nice. Yeah, you can argue top 20. I think in terms of placement, she's a little high, but top 20, it can be argued. Claudio should be here. He's basically the character with infinite good buttons. The guy has infinite amounts of good buttons. Back 1, forward 4-2, sidestep 4, a twin piston from standing. Even though it's not 13, I think it's 14, or it might even be 15, but still. Very good buttons, delayable back 4-4. Like, he has a lot of great tools. Press any button and it's pretty good. He does lack in the poking department. He does very much lack. I don't want to say fundamentals because he can poke, but it's like he has no like solid mid pokes. You know, the back one comes to mind, but it's -5. Even though he does back sway, he does kind of give up his turn in that way. If you're in the neutral, his neutral game isn't the greatest. If you're too obvious with him, you know, you keep throwing those while running 2s out, you will get ducked at launch. But still, such a solid character with so many like almost god moves. Back 1 is I don't even know how to put it. That move is fully tracking mid, wall splatting safe with a little bit of evasion at the end move. Yeah, it's pretty good, I would say. And he does have pretty good damage. And used to a little bit of, I don't want to call it a gimmick, but, you know, Starburst is a bit of a knowledge check, and it does allow him to do different things, obviously, than a normal character couldn't do, and can really mix your opponent up quite well. Yeah, I think he's up here. Leroy Smith, I almost need to say nothing about. Obviously, he's not the top 1 anymore, but this character by no means is bottom 50 now. The character's really solid, a lot of good damage, down 3-4, orbital, back 1. You know, his parry, even though they nerfed it a little bit, it's easier to punish. It's still a really solid tool to have. His hermit stance, auto low parry with mix-ups like a safe mid launcher. Yeah, the character could be even higher for all I care. He's definitely up here. Miguel. Top 20? I mean, Miguel's very annoying. Like, to me, there's a difference between annoying and like good in terms of tier. He's very annoying, but top 20. No, I gotta say, I disagree with this wholeheartedly. Like, his reach is pretty terrible. I think what helps him a lot, to be honest, is not knowing the matchup. I think that's the key to Miguel winning. You almost see a Miguel once every blue moon, and sure, we all hate it when we do, but then you leave and you don't see Miguel for a few months. And then it's like, I think once you know his matchup, he's blah at best. He's just very annoying in my opinion. He can do a lot of annoying shit that no one likes to fight. But I think putting him in top 20 is a little bit of a stretch. I don't think he's that high. I think that's a little too far for him. So I'm going to say that one's wrong. It's the first one I really disagree with. I've had a couple of iffies, but this one, I doubt it. Kunimitsu, great space control at any given point at the stage between the knife and the glide into a safe mid. Great movement to get out of space. Her combos can be adjusted for any kind of situation you want to go for, whether you want really far wall carry, whether you want really short wall carry, whether you want damage, whether you want Oki. She's able to adjust her combo for any situation you want to put them in. Full crouch mix up, it's decent. She's punishable on both options, so it's not godlike, but it's a decent thing to have for sure. She has a little bit of a throw game as well. Yeah, you can argue she's top 10. Heihachi. Now, we haven't seen his main yet. At least I haven't, because I'm not looking anywhere else. But I'm surprised to see Heihachi before Kazuya. Although, Heihachi does have great highs and mids. Some of the best in the game. Really good neutral. His forward 4, his down forward 1s, 1 back 2, 1-1, forward 2-3. Really solid. And they gave him the hell sweep for a different purpose, to give him a different low. It's also launch if you block the first one, which is still very true to his identity. But at least now he has a very good momentum building low to allow him to use his scary mids. Because his hell sweep, his first one is now +8 to really force the frames, and you can get forward 3. He's really good. Up forward 3-4 speaks for itself. Forward 4-2, the electric, wall splatting 1-1-2, still really solid damage. Even to this day, he holds up in terms of damage. You could argue. I think he's top 20. Negan, kind of a character no one likes to see, talk, or fight about. Yeah, I think he's up here. Long range launchers, auto launch, low parry stances, counter hit launching plus frame mid, intimidation stance, especially out of, I think it's 1-2 now, he can go into it, so he can 10 frame punish you into a mix-up, into stupid mix-ups at that. Launching power crush, really solid damage, complete utility on his rage drive. He has 3 of them that he can use for all different situations. Yeah, he deserves to be up here. Now we're into top 30. Okay. I'm so tempted to look further because oh my god. Oh, Master Raven. We'll keep going here. Master Raven. Yeah, she's one of those anomalies where it's kind of hard to tier her because she has so many options in her forward and back stance. She has so many different types of throw games and mix-ups, and you can really, like, I feel like she's one of those characters, kind of like Law. You can really get expressive with this character when you maximize everything about her. And when you can do that, you've got a hell of a champion character. But her frames are kind of lackluster. She has a couple of good frames, but a lot of really poor ones. Not the most impressive combos ever, except for her wall tender. Her rage drive is kind of meh. It works, but it's kind of meh. Yeah, she's about a top 30 though. Lee. Jesus, we still haven't seen any Kazuya, but we're at Lee. Okay. Lee is pretty good, pretty solid. Counter hits, good range. He has a decent mix-up, misstep. He has the slide. Great punishment. Great punishment on the character. Excellent wall travel. His damage is a little down under, but still pretty solid. If you do really exercise the character and its full execution, he gets access to pretty impressive counter hit tools. That shouldn't be understated. Back four. He's really good. I think he's in the right place. Okay. Noctis. Did he put Kazuya as the worst character or something? I'm waiting to get to his main, and we're at like what, 33? Oh. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going here. Noctis is almost unimpressive as a whole. He's got a lot of range. He's hot, and his biggest benefit is you can't low parry him. Well, obviously you can with some attacks, but a lot of his key tools, like down back 2, obviously you can't low parry because it's a weapon. So he forces you to block. You have to guess. You can't low parry a lot of his tools, or parry his tools for that matter. So that's a good bonus to have. A lot of bullshit moves like down back 1+2. His projectile is safe, unlike Seikuni's. His parry is alright, it's decent, it leads for a couple of interesting setups, but it's nothing to write home about. He has a throw, I believe. He has a little bit of a 2D jump, especially you can jump into 1+2. Pretty solid damage, but there are better characters that should be ahead of him. Nina. Nina's really good in the way that she can mix up. Obviously getting away from sidestep 1 mix-ups, that aside, she has a throw game, lows, 50-50. Her orbital, in my opinion, is the best orbital in the game. She has mix-ups in almost every situation, whether it be grab mix-ups, whether it be 50-50s, whether it be strings, you name it, she's got a 50-50 for it. Poison mist if you really want to get advanced and stuff like that. She's got it. I think she belongs here. King. Now, this is a character, in my opinion, that gets underrated at times. I'm not saying King's like top 10, but I think you could argue King is top 20. I think he's still really, really solid. His down forward 1 is one of those special ones that are -1. His throw game, I obviously don't need to talk about, but it's there. But aside from his throw games, back 1, really solid. Down back 3, even though it is launch, has a lot of reach, counter hit launcher, immediate high crush. His unblockables don't get talked about enough. Not just Burning Hammer, forward 1+2, 1+4. Like, those can come in handy a lot. His Frankenstein down back 3+4 is unbreakable. I think he's a lot better than where he is. But if someone wants to argue it, you know, he's not far off. I just think he's top 20, but we'll leave it as neutral. Devil Jin. Devil Jin. Top 30. Well, the electric up forward 4 is not to be understated. His launching hell sweep can do some really damaging stuff if he's in the right position to do so. He has to do a little bit more of a difficult 50-50 in the way he has to do Raw Rising 2, but it is possible. He lost up forward 4, which used to be a really, really key tool to him. I'm not sure if they reverted that or something, or it's possible again now. No, it has that walk back effect now. So that's a pretty hard move to lose to this character. That was his easy 50-50. But he does have can for an easy 15 frame launch, and just can in general is pretty good tool to have. His damage, if you really exercise the potential of it, is pretty solid. It's nothing to laugh at. He's okay. I'm okay with him being here, but there is contention for better characters. Jack 7. Jack 7 in top 30 when we haven't seen a couple characters. Okay. Jack 7 has obviously one of the most annoying low pokes in the game. He has a decent throw game. He does not have a 10 frame jab, but he has forward 1, I believe it is. To substitute, it's punishable, but not having a 10 frame jab immediately hurts him. His down forward 1 isn't the greatest. His down forward 2, albeit stupid range, is like minus what, 14? Debug is decent. His combos aren't spectacular. I actually think he's not here. I don't think he's that good. His sidestep is terrible. His movement is terrible. He's such a big target. He's annoying. It's kind of the whole Miguel thing. He's annoying, but I don't think he's that high in terms of tier. I think that's too far. I don't think he's that good. I'd put him lower. Bob. Kind of like the same thing as Negan. Who the heck wants to talk about Bob? But yes, Bob is pretty solid. Not just in movement. He does have a wave dash. He has a back dash. But in terms of a hell sweep, He does have throws and a launching throw at that. They took away one of his biggest weaknesses and gave him a 15-frame launcher. He has a lot of fun little gimmicks to play with, and his roll, his back roll that he can do. Yeah, I'd say he's up here. Even though I don't like him, he's up here. Kazumi. Oh, really? Hold on a minute. Kazumi? In top 30? Really? Okay. I'm shocked on that one, actually. I had to do a double take. I don't think this character is top 30. Right away, I'm not even gonna think about whether she is or she isn't. She isn't. The character was once upon a time a tyrant in the earlier days, but she's been nerfed so hard for so long. She's like bare bones. Everyone says the same thing. Oh, she's just pure fundamentals. But, I mean, there are characters that have, if not the same fundamentals, slightly less effective fundamentals with much more to give. Her combos are still lackluster to this day. There's nothing. She has one of the shortest moves in the game. I think she has 57 moves. Just pokes and one throw to mix you up with, and a stance that's almost pitiful. The launcher is -10 in the way of her quote-unquote electric. She can go for 3 + 4 for 50-50, which is launch punish. And if she goes for the hell sweep, obviously it's a hell sweep, so it is launch punish as well. The unblockable is really easy to react to, in my opinion. If they go for the unblockable, you will see it, and you can hit her out of it. I'm sorry, I disagree. She is not top 30, and she's not ahead of some of the characters that are still have yet to be seen. Hwoarang takes a lot of practice to fully utilize this kit, but yes, he is top 30. Throw game, excellent pokes, great plus frames, great 50-50s. Can really get in your opponent's head. You can always pull out a different trick with this guy. And but do not underestimate. People don't just think of him as a MASH character. I wouldn't underestimate the amount of work it takes to have him operate when you get to a higher level. I'm not even talking about tournaments. I'm talking about when you get to Ryujin, right? Emperor, Tekken King. You can't just down 3-4 hell sweep all day long. It takes more than that. And but yes, he is definitely up here. Definitely up here. Now we're in the bottom 40, and I have yet to see his main, which I can't wait to do so. Ganryu. He's certainly not good. Let's get that right. He's not good. And because he's not like terrible either. He's got impressive frames, down forward 3, down forward 1. He has a little bit of a gimmick is down forward 2, and he can down forward 2-1 to stop you from pressing. He can do silly shit from the stances, like roll at you like a barrel. His unblockables will catch you off guard. He has a throw game, obviously. I would actually say that it's more likely that he was top 30. He's definitely more likely in top 30 than Kazumi. Just his back sway alone will kill you. But you know what? I'm not gonna argue it too much. It's decent. It's a decent choice. Eliza. Now, in my opinion, I would put Eliza in the bottom 10. The character is just dreadful. You do top 5 execution for bottom 10 damage. Her frames are horrible. If you block Eliza at all, she dies. Almost on everything. The execution required to pilot her does not reward you for doing so. I mean, I know she builds meter quickly, but she can't do like Akuma thing where she can down 3 fireball into launch with 1 bar of meter. It doesn't work like that. She has to burn both her meters to launch you. And you know, that's something that definitely should be mentioned. Not something that should be left out. It's not like she's like Akuma where she can just down 3 fireball and EX cancel launch. Not how it works. So yeah, I would say she's bottom 40. Her frames are terrible. Her execution is way high for a roar that's so low. Yeah, I would say that she's bottom, in my opinion. And I think she's here. She's kind of falls into the annoying category rather than the high tier category. Her frames are terrible, even on a simple low poke. I think it's launch. She can bullshit a lot. Heavy pressure. No Ana likes to block. They like to press buttons. Full crouch down for 2 is kind of retarded in the way it's so fast. And it's got so much reach. But she's not by any means a high tier character. So I'm okay with where she is. I didn't purposely look ahead, but I see him now. Hey, hang on. Okay, just I'm gonna talk about Armor King, but Kazuya has 45. Oh man. You know what? I gotta hand it to the guy. He's brave, I guess. You know what? I'm gonna talk about Armor King first. I'll get to that. Armor King, I think, again, he's another character I can consider more likely in top 30 than Kazumi. His throw game that he has, his down forward 1 is really solid. His sidestep and back, I think it's back 1+4 into shoulder, really does the job. He has a lot of reach, a lot of heavy plus frames, great movement in his wave dash and his sidestep. I really I'm okay with him being in top 40. I think he should be a little bit higher. I would even be okay if he was in top 30. But that's fine. Oh, Kazuya Mishima. You know, I get it. I think everybody wants their main to be low tier. I don't know if it's a feel bad for me thing where they have to cry wolf, when they're like, oh, I'm using this character, and then, you know, but I can't for the life of me seriously put Kazuya Mishima in bottom 40. In my opinion, I thought I would have seen him a lot sooner. But we're talking about a character with above average damage on his combos, with or without wall. His electric is crazy. His Oki that he gets can kill you. If you guess wrong maybe twice, you're dead. He has a throw game in Stonehead and Gates of Hell. Sidestep 3, long range mid safe launcher. Forward 4 is a great tool. He does have a pretty good Magic 4 that people don't talk about. I think is really solid. His movement in terms of back and forward is really, really good. Down back 4 is an amazing poke. Down 1+2, especially that it's cancelable, can allow you to do a lot of stuff. His punishment just as a whole, electric aside, 1-1-2, back 2-1, really, really solid. Like, one could argue, oh, he doesn't poke very well. You know what? Just because he has a weakness doesn't make him bottom 40. Claudio is top 20, and he has a similar issue in the way that he has a lot of good moves, but not the best poking. But no, I think that a lot of it is just main bias. I personally main Akuma, for those interested, and I have no issue with him being in top 10, in top 1 in fact. I said I think he's top 2 because geese. But I think that's all this is. It's my main is so hard and so weak and feel bad for me. But this is not a bottom 40 character. And nobody would agree that Kazuya is in the bottom 40, except for those who use Kazuya. No pro player would agree. No casual player would agree. And anyone who actually takes a genuine approach to him would not agree as well. But, you know, people argue just sidestep me. Right. And you can get hit by, you know, especially high-level Kazuya players, like the man who made this list, can wave dash into, say, While Rising 2 and launch you for sidestepping. Or if they want to go for a safe option, they can wave dash While Rising 3. They can realign with wave dash. They can, you know, I mean, and it's kind of funny when they made his Hell Sweep track, everybody cried about it. And I was one of those people. I wasn't vocal about it. I didn't want his Hell Sweep to track either. But it's just weird to me that people, especially Mishima mains, would be like, no, you shouldn't make his Hell Sweep track. That's his identity, and that's robbing the character. And then they get their non-tracking Hell Sweep back, and they're like, oh, my character's so weak. They just sidestep me. It's like, I'm not sure what they want, but he is not here. He is not here. He is higher. Way higher. Shaheen, pretty basic character with not the best lows. Nothing to write home about. Decent damage. Meh. Eddie, I'm glad that people are not putting him at the very bottom anymore, because I agree he was never the bottom character, He has a lot of tricks to utilize. Great movement in terms of the back and forth. Not so much in the sidestep department, but his sidestep 3+4, for example, allows him to do some pretty solid moves. He has a pretty good throw game as well. I think he's all right. He's where he should be, relatively. Ling Xiaoyu, I'm a little surprised to see this low. Again, this is a character I would say that should be higher than Kazumi. Throw game for sure. Great mix-ups. Pretty good fundamental tools. Excellent movement. Evasion like crazy. Right? Character's pretty good. I just I struggle with seeing her this low, especially since she's kind of the law factor, where when you really push how good a character is, it can really bring out that strength in her, if you could say that. But I don't think she's the bottom 40. I think she's a little bit higher, like maybe top 30. But anyway, Lei, fake it till you make it, basically. But yeah, Lei is basically Gatling gun 4-3-1 with the delay 2, possibly take my mix up. Goofy, but it's kind of a matchup thing. No one knows the Lei matchup, but if you did, he'll suffer quite a bit for it. Not impressive frames. His situations are awful, like when he does his maximum wall carry with 4-4-4-3-4. It's really hard for him to run to the wall and pick up anything. His combos, maybe on counter hit, can do a lot, but they're not the most crazy thing ever. He could argue he's bottom 40. Lily, I think people underestimate a lot, but she has pretty much every low you would want ever. One for launch, one for a knockdown, one for a counter hit launch, one for momentum building, one for a poke. She's got pretty much every low you would want. A 50-50 low and back turn. She's got great stance mix-ups. She has a command throw to mix up her throws a little bit. Pretty good poking. I think her down forward 1 is -1 as well. Or am I thinking of Nina? Or maybe both. I'm not sure. I think hers is -1 though. Matterhorn will catch you. She has excellent movement. I think she's a little bit higher, in my opinion. Maybe top 30. But now we get to the bottom, which I'm assuming is where his other mains are. Dragunov, character kind of fell from grace. Was one of the shining people in the beginning and then kind of fell off. They nerfed him a lot, especially with his while running 2. They just killed him, which is really sad. He's definitely closer to the bottom these days. I agree. Lars, people like to say he's really bad. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think he's a little bit better than what people give him credit for. He's not a top 20, but I think he's a little bit better than what people give him credit for. But still, solid opinion. I wouldn't put him that much higher anyway. He might have still been bottom 10 for me if I made one. So, that's fine. Yoshimitsu. Yoshimitsu can do a lot of crazy shit. It's the Xiaoyu thing again, where if you really maximize the character, you can do a lot of shit and really mess your opponent up in ways they don't even know yet. But his frames are awful. His combos aren't the absolute greatest. He's kind of slow. He relies on a lot of bum rush me, and then I'll counter you. But trying to play against a patient player is kind of brutal with him. He doesn't really have pressure. He has more of a fake pressure in the way you're afraid to press against him, but not that you can't. But he does have a throw sort of game. He's kind of like a I've sort of got everything, but I don't. So he's like a... He's a character that fully expresses a skill ceiling, just like Law. You have the very beginning Yoshis, and then he has the really high level ones that will make you not know what the hell you're doing. Asuka. This low was a little surprising, but not like she would have ranged in the high tier either. She has pretty solid damage, great panic tools. They made her 10 frame punishment a genuine punish now. And all these different things. But I get it. I do get it. Someone's got to be in the bottom 10, and it's not a bad choice. Josie, yeah, I agree. Very, very telegraphed mix-ups. Damage output is not there. Frame advantage is not there. But someone's got to be in bottom 10. I agree. Josie should be here. Lydia fell from grace as well. One of the strongest characters. Not one of the like game breaking ones, but when she came out, she was very, very, very solid. Very solid. Always high damage. She had brutal combos. Political Storm is no slouch. She does have a throw game. Her Hell Sweep was ridiculous, and the Oki she got after, she was really, really powerful. I think she's a little better still to this day, but you know what? So be it. Falkenrum, I don't agree is this low. I don't agree that he's a top 30, but he should be a little bit higher. If at least he should be at the top of the bottom 40, or sorry, at the top of the bottom 10. But it's whatever. It's you could talk about these characters forever and ever and ever and ever. It's little minuses when you get this far. Chloe's a little bit better than I think people give her credit for, but she's quite telegraphed. She's quite obvious. Her frames are not the strongest. Her damage output is really, really high, but that's about it. Gigas needs no introduction, as well as the Bears. I think that is my entire list. Again, there's no hate to that guy. I just thought it would be fun for if he can correct a pro player. I, as a small channel, will correct a big channel. And I'm sure an even smaller channel will correct my channel, and then someone who came from Vine will correct my channel, or the person that corrected me, and this will go on for all eternity. But in the end, it's all about fun. We all love the game. We're all just discussing. Hope you're all having a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.